Mother Nature like, how the fuck you doing that, Max? Trust me, I do a lot of shit like I'm doing much less. Got the mindset of DJ Khaled, I'm doing what's best. It's been body bags after body bags, so who is up next?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again. This is not a musical reaction, but it's a reaction indeed. Man, you know who this is. They call me Mr. J. And you are tuned into Mr. J Official Reactions channel number 2. Folks, how you doing, man? I want us to go to Ghana. I want us to talk about good news that is coming out of Ghana that has been creating a whole lot of waves and a whole lot of talks coming out of Ghana. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to dive into a topic that has been making some noise from Africa and beyond. And this topic is actually about Wode Maya. Yes, Ghana's most famous, matter of fact, Africa's most famous YouTuber has been reportedly granted a diplomatic passport by that country, by the government of Ghana. Yes, you heard right. A YouTuber with a diplomatic passport. Mr. Beast doesn't have a diplomatic passport, but Wode Maya has a diplomatic passport. Now, the question is this. Is this orthodox? Is it normal that a YouTuber of this guy's caliber should be given a diplomatic passport? Bro, let me say this. To honor a YouTuber with a diplomatic passport, he says a whole lot. And most importantly, does Wode Maya actually deserve it? I want you to stick around because I'm going to break it down for you. Because there's a whole lot of talks and people just going back and forth. I've seen people arguing. I've seen people saying all type of things. Hey, who offers diplomatic passport is the regime of any country. And if the government says that they want to give this man a diplomatic passport, it's because they have seen what this man has done. So I want us to start with this, ladies and gentlemen. Who is Wode Maya? For those who don't really know, man, if you don't know, Wode Maya is more than just a content creator. You feel me? He is Ghanaian. He is a YouTuber and he's a gentle soul. He is a guy who quit his engineering career in China to dedicate himself to telling African stories, bringing Africa to the world with over 1 million subscribers already, ladies and gentlemen, and millions of views. He has built a platform that showcases Africa in its raw, authentic, and beautiful picture, not like what the Western world wants you guys to see. So he's not just vlogging for entertainment, folks. He's on a mission. And what is his mission? A mission to challenge stereotypes about Africa. His vlog highlights innovation, culture, and entrepreneurship and show the world that this continent, like Africa, is not a charity case, but a place of opportunity, resilience, and brilliance. Now, folks, that is Wode Maya for anybody who still doesn't know who this brother is. Now, is granting this man a diplomatic passport unorthodox, as so many people and so many conversations have been saying going on online? Of course. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we all know exactly the process of being granted a diplomatic passport. Now, if you don't know, a diplomatic passport, traditionally, these passports are reserved for government officials, diplomats, and individuals traveling on official state businesses. So yes, in that sense, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty unorthodox that a YouTuber should have one. But if the government of a country wants to grant diplomatic passport to any person they deem has been at the forefront of making sure that they project the essence of the country to the world, why not, ladies and gentlemen? This is already opened up a different conversation in terms of YouTubers from Africa. If Wode Maya can get a diplomatic passport from Ghana, does that mean that other YouTubers who have been doing pretty much the same thing as Wode Maya, can they also be granted diplomatic passport? The question is yes. But here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. Diplomacy isn't only about politics. Because most people arguing online, they are just thinking about politics. It's about the influence. It's about representation and cultural exchange. That is what diplomacy is. Wode Maya has arguably done more in terms of international diplomacy for Ghana and Africa than many politicians. We all know the African politicians getting there just to steal money, to rob, and just, we all know the whole shtick. His reach extends to millions of people across the globe, giving Africa a positive image in spaces where negative stereotypes always dominated. This man would have been given a diplomatic passport. If Ghana didn't do it, so many countries around Africa would have done it. Now, let's get to the next step of this vlog. Does he deserve it? So why does Wode Maya deserve this diplomatic passport and this honor? Let's break it down, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I said diplomacy is not just about politics. It embodies a whole lot of things. So the first reason why I think that Wode Maya deserves this diplomatic passport is because this man is a cultural ambassador. Every vlog he makes is an act of diplomacy. For those of you who do not understand how these things work, he is bringing cultural gaps. He is correcting misconceptions and showcasing African pride, bro. Let me say this. This man he deserves this ×3. Like I said, so many countries around Africa would have easily given this man this diplomatic passport. The next reason why Wode Maya he deserves this diplomatic passport is actually tourism promotion. He's literally influencing people from around the world to visit African countries. Remember, I said so many countries could have easily given this man this passport. In terms of promoting tourism and promoting Africa to the world, we have seen this man visit so many African countries. And ladies and gentlemen, and this man has met with ex-presidents, this man has met with presidents. Let me say this, he has met with high government officials in some countries that he has visited. So in terms of promoting tourism, tourism brings foreign exchange. If you do not know, tourism builds economies and tourism strengthens international ties. I cannot count the number of countries this man has been to and has showcased that country in the light that no other person has done it. No other politician from that country has done it. The next reason why this man deserves this is the economic impact. By showcasing African businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, Wode Maya is boosting local economies. Yes, if you do not know, he is doing that. His videos go viral, driving global attention and even investment into African ventures. Of course, by this only, this man deserves this by so many countries around Africa. You feel me? Now, he is a Pan-African guy. He brings that unity. His vlogs calls for Pan-Africanism and Pan-African unity. He doesn't just promote Ghana. This man travels around the continent, bro. From Nigeria to Kenya to Rwanda to South Africa. He is telling collective African stories. That's diplomacy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen, on a continental scale. I will not jinx my word when I tell you this. The last thing I can think of why this man deserves this diplomatic passport, ladies and gentlemen, this man is a youth inspirator. This man is inspiring African youth from across the globe and in the diaspora. Perhaps most importantly of all his things that he's been doing, ladies and gentlemen, he is inspiring a generation of African youths to believe in themselves, to be proud of their roots, and to chase opportunities in storytelling, media, digital entrepreneurship. So when you look at all of these things I just mentioned, it's not just about political diplomacy, but of cultural diplomacy. This man checks every single box. Now I will ask you, to those who are offended or mad that this guy was given a diplomatic passport, I will conclude by saying this. Wode Maya has set a different standard when it comes to YouTubing in Africa. Now, it is unorthodox, but Is it undeserved? I want you to leave a comment, and I will tell you this: absolutely not. Wode Maya has become a one-man diplomatic mission, if you ask me, representing Ghana and Africa on the global stage in ways that no embassies around the world can ever do. Point me one embassy, one diplomatic mission that has done half of what Wode Maya has done for Africa. Point, let me know. Let's have that conversation. So maybe it's time we start redefining what diplomacy looks like in the 21st century. It's no longer limited to government officials in suits, flying with delegation. No, it can also be of a young African YouTuber with a camera, a dream, a mission to change the narratives and misconceptions about Africa, because we all know that so many people around the world fully do not understand Africa. Let me tell you, even Africans don't understand Africa. I will tell you this. So big congratulations to my brother from Ghana and my brother from the continent, Wode Maya. Whether you love him or not, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot deny the impact that he has. This man has gone to places and made me see Africa in a different light. So I want to end this by asking you, what do you think? Should YouTubers and influencers be honored with such privileges? Of course, YouTubers and influencers, I'm talking about of his caliber. Don't bring some mumbo jumbo ass influencer like we have so all over Africa, especially from some countries I'm not going to name, and think that they deserve these privileges. No. Or should it remain strictly to government officials? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations like this. Yes, this is not music. Bro, until next time, let's keep telling our stories because the world is watching. Once again, congratulations to Wode Maya. Stay blessed.
But we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know.